Hello and welcome to Inglewood, California. Welcome to the spectacular Intuit Dome. Welcome to this very special press conference ahead of a very significant, dare I say, one of the most significant MMA events in recent memory. Hello again, everyone. I'm Mario Helwani. It is an absolute honor and privilege for me to be up here once again. And I have to say, it's actually quite surreal. And I feel like I've said this before a few of these MVP press conferences. I can't believe that we're actually here doing all of this. And if you would have told me 6 months ago, I would have not believed you. And I have a feeling everyone at home feels the exact same way. But that's what we've come to expect from the MVP guys, so let's do it one more time, my friends. We are here, as I said, for a very significant event. We are a little over 3 months away from said event. May 16th, 2026. That is the date that you want to circle on your calendar. And I want to explain to everyone very quickly why this is so significant. This will mark the first mixed martial arts event in MVP's history. The promotion is a little less than 5 years old. Historically, when a boxing promotion starts off, they're not crossing over into the world of MMA this early in the game. But that's what Jake Paul and Nakisa Bidarian are doing on May 16th of this year. So that's significant point number one. Number two, this will mark the very first MMA card to air live on the biggest streaming platform in the world, Netflix. 325 million subscribers around the world. No pay-per-view attached to it. If you're a subscriber, you're getting this card on May 16th. As you know, Netflix entered the world of combat sports about 2 years ago with the critically acclaimed Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson event. They've had several boxing events since. Just how big of a deal it is to end associated with the sport we love so very much. And point number three, and perhaps the most important of them all, the main event on May 16th, right here at the Intuit Dome, features two pioneers, two trailblazers. Those words get thrown around a lot in sports, but that's a fact. This is a dream fight, a fight that most of us never even dared to dream about because, let's be honest, they fought in different eras. Back in 2007, on the very first MMA card on premium cable, a young woman named Gina Carano stole the show alongside her opponent, Julie Kedzie. A year later, she was a massive part of the very first MMA card on broadcast television. She was one of the faces of this sport, one of the most beloved athletes in the history of this sport, and that all culminated in a massive super fight in August of 2009. After that, as quickly as she arrived, she left, going on to have an incredibly successful career in the world of television and film. Shortly thereafter, an Olympic bronze medalist named Ronda Rousey came along and took that baton and took the sport and women's MMA to a whole other level. She was a part of the very first women's MMA fight in UFC history, not too far from here in Anaheim, California. That was back in February of 2013. And if I'm being 100% honest, I, at that point, had never seen anything quite like the superstar that she became. I remember being in Brazil in August of 2015 and seeing young women cry at the sight of her. It was akin to the Beatles, I kid you not. And then, of course, in 2016, she left the sport, had a great career in the world of professional wrestling, and now here she is back. Who would have thought in the year 2026 we'd be talking about these two megastars, these two pioneers going toe-to-toe in a 5-round professional bout being contested at 145 pounds. It is all going down, like I said, on May 16th of this year, 2026. Tickets are on sale right now over at Ticketmaster.com. You want to be here in this great venue, one of the biggest events to be held in this venue so far. I know it's new, but this is going to be a massive deal, and if you're not able to come, check us out on Netflix. We're going to talk to all the particulars, those two ladies that I just mentioned, plus two men who were just added to the card. More fights are going to be added, fear not. But first, I think I need some muscle up here, so let us welcome the MVP event models. We've got Phipe and Delia here to back me up in case anything gets a little too crazy. We need some support, dare I say. Bom dia, bom dia. Thank you, guys. All right. As I said, it's not just about the two women. We've got another big fight on this card. But he is now back about. Let us say hello. Please give a warm Inglewood welcome to the one and only Philipe Lins. Hello, Philipe. Good to see you, my friend. His opponent really needs no introduction, but I'm going to try to give him one anyway. He is currently the lineal MMA heavyweight champion of the world, the former UFC heavyweight champion, who we have not seen in the octagon for a bit, but he has still been quite active. About 2 years ago, he crossed over to the world of boxing. He went toe-to-toe with, at the time, the champion, the one and only Tyson Fury, and I still believe till this day he won that fight. He then fought, of course, Anthony Joshua, and in about October of 2024, about a year and a half or so ago, he last fought in his last MMA fight. He became the PFL Super Fight Champion when he defeated Renan Ferreira. This will be his first fight since. This one kind of came out of nowhere, but we found out about it yesterday. He is in fact here. He is the man who is hailing from Cameroon, from France, le prédateur, the one and only Francis Ngannou.
Thank you, guys.
Great to see you, Francis. That is, in my opinion, still to this day, the baddest man on the planet. Can't wait to talk to him in just a matter of moments. But we do have to say hello to the main event. And let's say hello to one half of the main event. We last saw her compete in a pro MMA fight back in 2009. I'll be honest, one of my favorite fighters of all time. And then she left and went on to a great career in the world of TV and Hollywood. But she is now here. She is back. It is actually happening. As I said, brought women's MMA to premium cable, brought women's MMA to broadcast television. At one time, one of the biggest stars in the history of this sport, regardless of gender. Please welcome back the one and only Gina Fiction Carano. Gina Carano is here. That is unbelievable. We will get to her in a moment. But we have to say hello and welcome back as well to her opponent. 2013, she brought women's MMA to the UFC. And we all know the story by now. They always said women would never fight in the octagon. You've heard it. But it started well before that. Bronze medalist, the Olympic Games in judo. Crosses over to the world of mixed martial arts and is fighting local shows, Strikeforce, and is submitting every single opponent in a matter of seconds with that armbar. An absolute tour de force. Brings MMA, women's MMA to the UFC, headlines that first show in 2013, and then goes on one of the greatest runs in the history of the sport. She leaves the sport in 2016, signs with WWE, and has a tremendous career there as well. Most of us thought that at that point she was done. She was growing her lovely family. She was doing her thing. She's an author, all that stuff and more. And then out of nowhere, we start seeing the training footage. We start seeing all the clips. And we start thinking to ourselves, holy smokes, is this actually happening? But against who? Against her. And so it is actually happening on May 16th of 2026. The return to MMA by one of the greatest stars in the history of the sport, a surefire Hall of Famer in multiple sports. She is actually coming back. Please say hello to the former UFC Women's bantamweight champion, the rowdy one, Ronda Rousey. Great to see you, Ronda. Okay, how about this? Again, who could have predicted all of this just a few short months ago? I can't wait to get into it. And I do want to let the media in attendance know that we'll be fielding questions from all of you, so have no fear. You will get your chance as well. I would love to start with Gina.
Oh, what? Okay.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Okay.
You were here first. Welcome back.
Nice
It's so
to
great to
see
see
you
you.
again.
It's
Thank
really
you.
great to see you. Can I ask you why? Why are you coming back? What's the motivation?
Well, obviously the motivation is Ronda personally asked me, and she was quite the charmer. She asked me politely. She thanked me for so much, and she just she inspired me. And other jobs kind of came up during this, but nothing was as important as this. And to share this moment with her, and to be the one that she would come back for. She's my one as well. So hey, we get to live once. And this makes me feel so alive, and so I'm just super grateful for the opportunity.
How long was that process from her saying, hey, are you interested, to you then saying, yeah, I actually want to do this after all these years?
I mean, that was about a year. I think I first got confronted with it from Dana White, December 2024. Yeah, so about a year we've been talking about it.
And when you say confronted, what does that mean? Like they offered it to you, they talked to you about it?
Dana gave me a call and he said, Rhonda's pregnant. I think she was 9 months pregnant, right? And she wants to fight, and the only one she wants to fight is you. And at that time, I was extremely, I was extremely sick in my body. Had a couple of tough, rough years, like I think a lot of us did have. And at that time, I was like, you know what, absolutely. And then it just became more and more real as 2025 went on. And it is pretty incredible and surreal to be here today. It's healing, it's exciting, it's everything I could have hoped for. I didn't know I needed this so bad.
Well, it is amazing to see you back here.
Thank
On
you.
behalf of the whole MMA community. Ronda, it's great to see you back as well. It is surreal in its own right. And I'm wondering, when you decided to leave pro wrestling, was this the plan for you, or did it crystallize in a different way?
No, I never thought I would come back. It didn't cross my mind at all. I think it kind of started with my now coach, Ricky, who was originally my mortal enemy. He was coaching against me on The Ultimate Fighter. And he was also coaching my husband, Travis Brown, and he convinced me to give him a chance, and we became friends over the years. And he asked me to help him get his black belt in judo. And I had put a lot of walls around my heart when it came to martial arts and everything like that. I was forced to retire over some neurological issues that I didn't really have any clarity about. And it just hurt to be around it. And when he asked me to teach him, I was like, okay, fine. You know, he would come to my house, and I had some tatami in the garage. And once I started getting deep into it again and explaining things and getting back to it, made me fall in love with martial arts again. It reminded me of the joy that it gave me from the very beginning, and why I love it so much. And I really am a master of it, and I understand it so deeply, and to be able to teach it to somebody who would understand it on that level, it reminded me why I loved it again. And then I got to be pregnant, and I was about 3 months pregnant, and my husband caught me doing suplexes in the garage, and he was like, girl, you gotta give it a little rest. I'm like, okay. I was, 9 months pregnant when I saw an interview of Gina, who I always said I'd only come back for her, but I also was like, man, I hope she doesn't say anything, because I just don't have it, have that love for it in me anymore. But once I found that love again, and I saw her not doing well, I was like, you know what? We both need to reclaim our bodily identity together, rewrite our own endings together. And and so then I reached out to her, and it's been such a journey to get here, and so many obstacles, and so many people tried to get in between us and to insert their own agenda. And we went from barely knowing each other and respecting each other to being like, you know what? We're going to fight each other. I told her I will train you to fight me if I have to. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. But yeah, we went from, because of this, I had to get her number and talk to her. Because of this, I had to meet up with her and find a way to make the contract work out. And I thought it was just about me and, finding my love for the sport, and just about her, getting back to finding that fire and that light in her eyes that we all fell in love with. But it's become much more than that. Now it's become about changing the entire landscape of the sport, and challenging the monolith that the UFC has become. And I mean, of course, I just wanted to do something fun, and I ended up having to change the world. But you know what? Like that's the way that we do it. And I'm so happy that we're here, and I'm so grateful that Gina trusted me. When it wasn't going to work out with the UFC, I told her, I was like, we can do this on our own. We don't need them. We don't need anyone. And she said, I'm going to follow your lead. I'm going to trust you. And that's what led us to MVP and to Netflix and to us sitting here in front of the Intuit Dome, about to put on the most viewed MMA fight of all time.
Thank you for that. Could I ask, why did it not work out with the UFC? You were so synonymous with the UFC for so long, and so to see you associated with another MMA brand at this point is surreal in its own right. And so could you tell us why it did not work out and why you feel the way you feel about the landscape?
Well, I knew that we could promote this on our own and probably be the most lucrative way to go about it for us, but I have such love and respect for Dana that I wanted to bring this to him first. And I said, I know I can do this on my own, but I would rather fight for you than to fight for me. Just make it make sense for me. And originally we were going to do it New Year's, and it was going to be under the last fight under the pay-per-view model, and he offered me the best pay-per-view structure ever, and I was so grateful. But then, Gina said she needed more time to get in the best shape possible, and that she wanted me to fight the best version of herself. And I think that was fate. It was meant to be. It was meant to push us onto the other side. And once they've moved into the streaming model, it's just not about putting on the best fights possible anymore. Dana is legally beholden to the shareholders and to maximize shareholder value. And unfortunately, now that they've taken the reins from of the company away from him, it's barely recognizable now. And they need to be saved from themselves, and luckily I'm here to be their hero.
I'd like to ask my friend Francis a couple of questions. Francis, great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Bon après-midi, as they say.
Merci.
What a busy few days for you. We wake up on Friday to the news that you're no longer affiliated with PFL. Can you explain what happened and how that led to you being a part of this huge card?
Well, it was just the news that came out of Friday. I think this was an ongoing process for a couple months. I think we've been in this position since probably January, that I find out that I will not be having another fight in the PFL. So then I started to look another option. Then right away, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was reached out by Nakisa to give me an offer. Originally, he was a big name. No disrespect to Philipe Lins, which is even more dangerous opponent. But originally, he was Rico. So he called me and like, okay, what do you think about fighting Rico in MMA? I'm like, damn, that sounds good. I never thought about it, but I think this is a good opportunity. But long story short, on Friday, 2 weeks ago, and then Rico gets signed for the Usyk fight. So that wasn't an option, and then we were looking for another, for a replacement, and then Philipe came out to be the best option. There were a couple names, but among them, Philipe was the best option, so they chose him.
Could I ask, we last saw you in October of 2024. That was your last fight.
Yes.
At this point, you're a constant talking point for a lot of people in the sport because you were one of the few to dare to fight out the contract and test the waters. Seems like you did well. What's the motivation? Why are you still doing this at this stage of your career?
I'm not done. What do you mean, like this stage of my career? I still have a lot of time in front of me, and I still enjoy this. I mean, look, it's been like, I'm in a better shape than I've ever been, even like while fighting. For the past 9 months, I was in the gym every day just because I enjoy it, you know. So far, it's still my job. Of course, I do some stuff on the side, but this is my primary job. I just wake up, get excited to go to the gym, do what I want to do, and then look around if I have a fight. That's also a privilege of being a free man. You go out there, do whatever pleases you, and then if there is an opportunity to fight, you fight. If there's not, you do your business, do your living, and keep on moving. You know, the good thing is like when you have to do it because you want to do it, because you like to do it. I think that's when the real pleasure of fighting begins. You know, you don't feel like you're obliged, you're forced to fight, you have to. It's better to fight when you want to fight. And that's the position that I am in right now. And I think in this position, in this rhythm, I can keep going for a couple more years.
Love it. Want to ask your opponent, Philipe, a question or two. Philipe, we haven't seen you since you left the UFC on that 4-fight winning streak. I want to get that right, on that winning streak. Why haven't we seen you since then?
Yeah, I take 2 years off, and I'm asked to God to give me another opportunity. And he sent this big opportunity to me. Fight on the first MMA event on Netflix with so many legends here. Ronda, Rousey, Gina, Carano, Francis Ngannou. It's the biggest opportunity of my entire MMA career. We're going to make a history and be a part of this. Is amazing. I'm feeling blessed.
Amazing. Your reaction when you found out that they wanted to match you up against the big man, Francis Ngannou, was it yes right away?
Yes, was right away. When my manager called me and said, you're going to fight Francis Ngannou live on Netflix, yeah, I'm on. We have a deal. Send a contract.
I love it. Now here you are.
It's a big opportunity, guys.
It is massive.
Yeah.
The biggest MMA card in the history of the sport, no doubt about it, as far as the platform and the viewership. The selfish journalist in me wants to ask them a million more questions, but I do want to be fair to my fellow media members, so we'll open it up to questions right here and now.
Doug Vasquez from Sports Illustrated. Questions for Ronda. Ronda, you mentioned the love and admiration and respect you have.
Try to get
for
closer
Dana
to the
White.
microphone. Hard to hear you.
Sure. Sorry about that. Doug Vasquez, Sports Illustrated. Ronda, you mentioned Dana White, all the love and respect you had for him. Ultimately, you couldn't make a deal. Did those failed negotiations lead to some bitterness that led you to publicly criticize them yesterday on social media?
No, not at all. He was the one that, when they weren't able to offer me, you know, a respectable deal under the streaming model, he was the one that was like, I want you to make as much money as possible. Don't stay here and take less for me. He gave me his blessing to go out and do it on my own. And if anyone's been his apprentice, you know, on how to be a promoter, it's been me. And after I let him know before anybody else that I had gone to Netflix, and I wanted to, you know, I didn't want him to be upset with me, and he was like, I could never be upset with you. I love you so much. I want you to do great. I want this to be successful. You know, he's always been my friend first before anything else. And I think that most of my criticisms of the UFC now is because Dana isn't the owner, and he isn't calling the shots, and he isn't running things the way that he wants, because he's an employee of the company now. He's not an owner, and I think it was a big mistake of theirs to not let him just run things the way that he always has.
Do you think he was upset when he saw your comments yesterday on social media? You mentioned that he wasn't upset with you for taking this fight.
Oh, he knows the White House card sucks. Like, he knows that they were pushing this for over a year, and it fell extremely short of expectations. I mean, he was so upset about it. He was talking about a fight falling out the day before. You know, it's I can guarantee you he's not happy with it either, and he's the one that taught me through example to speak my mind.
And then one question for Francis. Francis, with all the success that Jake and Nakisa and MVP have had promoting these big boxing events, when we look back 5 years from now and look at this card, do you think that this will be the card that finally created some competition for the UFC?
Absolutely not, because if I remember well, 5 years ago exactly, the MVP promotion wasn't there yet, or was just getting started, you know. So nobody would have could have believed that. But again, with I was confused for a second. Then I'm like, wait a minute. So it's a MVP. Then it's gonna be Ronda again, Gina. I wasn't expecting this at all. I wasn't right now out there right now. There is a great opportunity here, and I'm not employed. We are not working for anybody. We sign contract, pay. And then we shouldn't be or be entitled by anybody.
Gina, back in 2009, you fought Cyborg. That was the biggest women's fight in history. Now, 2026, this is going to be the biggest fight in women's history. What are your emotions? What are your thoughts?
You know, it's interesting. When I was fighting back in 2009, I felt like I was surviving, and how far you could get. So it was not a plan to do what I did. But now there's a peace and there's a calm, like I feel, and I feel more calm where I should be.
And for Ronda, you talked about changing the landscape of MMA, the financial aspect, being the savior. The UFC White House card came out. John Jones had some financial.
In combat sports to make a living and be paid fairly. Why is titties on OnlyFans? They're living poverty level fighting full time. And this company just got $7.7 billion. There's no reason that they can't afford.
I was saying this out loud, and I was saying this out loud, and I will still say this, not only to John Jones, but everyone that out there and who's probably in the same situation, because I think most of them are in the same situation. We are not an employee. We are independent contractor. And then we should be able to get what we deserve. And if we don't get, we will be able to have a right to walk away and go look other options. Because the thing now is that there is always like contract tying people up, and then they can get free, and then you want to set free, and then they muscles you up, you know, and lowball you. But I'm happy I'm out of that. That's all what I can say.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask a question to Gina. How are you viewing the state of your MMA career? Is this a one and done? Is this a, you know, let me see how I feel on May 17th, the next day? Are you fully back?
You know, I don't ever think I never answered that question. I never did. I never actually said I was retired. It's just something that I just don't think you know what I'm going to do. Okay. You can never predict that. So
fair enough.
I never rule anything off the table, which is probably why I'm sitting right here, right now.
And for you, Ronda, are there more fights in your future?
I mean, I guess it depends on how this one goes. But man, I really want some more babies.
Okay.
And it's getting to the point in my life where I can't really be taking any more detours, and I really want to be fully present for my husband and my kids. And it gets to a point where it's like, when are you going to be impressed enough with yourself to spend some time with your family, you know? And unfortunately, I've been able to integrate, home life and everything with this camp. But I feel like this is me trying to rewrite my ending with Gina. And maybe it's like a Lord of the Rings ending that keeps going on and on and on, or maybe it's a grand finale. So, but I promised my husband this was definitely the last one.
Okay. Well, maybe you link up with Nakisa. It seems like you're very passionate about the business, Nakisa and Jake, and try to build this thing.
I mean, I told him he definitely would like some more fights out of me, but I told him I can't be your Conor, but I'll be your Dana, and he said we'll see how this goes first. But when I'm running sprints, I like to look at the horizon, not my feet.
Fair enough. Well said. Back to the media. Let's try to keep it to 1 or 2 because there's a bunch of people in line. Go ahead.
Gabriel Gonzalez for Cage Side Press. Question for Ronda. You talk about the mutual respect with Gina. What would you say is the impact that she had on the sport when you watched her compete and the impact she had maybe for your own career?
I mean, I would not have known that women's MMA existed if it wasn't for her. I was training for the '08 Olympics when I saw her fight Julie Kedzie and saw the awe and admiration and respect that she commanded from everybody in the room. She stole the show, and I was so envious of her. I saw her fight, and I was like, I could totally kick her ass, you know, but I was also so in awe and enthralled with her. And she planted that seed in my mind where, you know, I was training for Olympics. I would try to listen to music and think about, ooh, I'm going to win the Olympics and my Olympic matches and all of this and doing judo. And it just kept creeping into my mind. I would think of winning MMA and winning MMA matches. And she planted that seed. And my mom has a saying that you can't unhave a thought. And it's because of her that she changed my whole life. And she already was changing the world of sports and went and moved on to bigger and better things for herself, but I was able to change the world because of her. And not even just that, but after the way that things ended, it was just, it was really heartbreaking for me. And she inspired me all over again to pick myself back up and to come back to fight for me and not for anyone else, and to go after the fight that I always wanted and not what anybody else wanted. And to be honest, like, this is the biggest fight in MMA right now. There are no 2 people in the sport with more international name recognition than me and Gina, except for Conor, but no one's gonna sanction that. So, like, this isn't a charity card. This isn't a throwback nostalgia card. This is the biggest fight in the sport right now, and it needed to happen now. This is fate between us. We have been on a collision course ever since I sat on a couch watching her on TV, just in complete awe of what this woman was doing. And yeah, I couldn't be more grateful. You know, it started out that I wanted to do this to help you, but God damn it, I still owe you because you've helped me so much all over again. So I don't know if we'll ever be even, but you know, I think that I want what succeeds me to exceed me, and I want to prove to her that what she created is something greater than she ever would have dreamed of, and the way that I can show that respect to her is to beat the ever-living crap out of her and then say thank you.
Same question to Gina. Obviously, you step away and you see Ronda, as Ariel said, take the baton and run with it. What impact do you feel she had on the sport, and maybe just for yourself, seeing her and what she did after you stepped away from MMA?
Well, there's an interview from a long time ago, and I hope somebody digs it up somewhere, and I said that the women that I'm inspiring now are going to re-inspire me later. And I didn't know how prophetic those words would be, and it has totally come full circle to exactly that. I mean, Ronda, there's only, I mean, nobody... They've tried to get me to come out of retirement, or, you know, there's nobody I would have come out for except for her. And when we were having kind of a tough time getting it done, because I have walked away before, Ronda was like, she got on the phone with me, she's like, let's sit down and talk about it. And I call her Little Wolf because she's like wagging her tail and she's charming. And at the same time, she wants to like rip my arm off and shove it up my ass. So I'm like, okay, like I gotta keep both of those sides of her in mind. But oh God, did I just say that? Oh no.
Oh, you did.
That'll be viral. But no, she's completely inspired me, and this has just been. I didn't realize how badly I needed it, I don't care about the time off. I've had a lot of extreme things happen, and I used to get really nervous for stuff like this, and I feel freaking great right now. It's got good energy for this fight, and I agree with Ronda. This is the biggest fight going on right now, and it's a complete honor.
You're crushing it, Gina. You're crushing it.
Oh, you're gonna
Well
use
done.
crush right now?
Oh, you know. Let's go back to the media. Here we go.
Hi, Christina, it's Snow Queen LA. I have a question for all of the fighters. What's one thing people don't know about you? And whoever wants to go first.
Maybe we'll start with Francis.
I'll let the lady go first.
Okay, fair enough. Let's start with Gina.
Why me? Okay.
Respect.
I actually moved up to Montana. I live on a farm. I got married.
Congrats.
To my first and last love, Kevin Ross, and it was the best thing I've ever done. And that's probably what people don't know, so now you all know. I'm married.
Mazel tov. Well done. Ronda.
Oh, God. Okay. I have 6 sea monkey tanks, and only one of them has sea monkeys in it. And there's only 2 sea monkeys. But I'm growing algae in the other ones in case my sea monkeys have babies again and I don't kill them and I move them over into their sea monkey nursery. I don't know. I'm a nerd, man.
Okay, we've covered it all. From fighter pay to the state of the sport to sea monkeys. Francis?
Okay. I think right here I'll go with the very general one because I have so secret stuff. But let's just say I don't give a damn about BS. What people think, talk too much BS. I don't just give a damn. That's what actually they don't know.
And what about you, Philipe?
I have a new baby boy, new girl with 10 months years old. So it's amazing. I'm a father of 2 girls. I'm gonna have a work on this, bro.
Parabéns.
Thank you.
Would you like your young girls to follow in the footsteps of these great fighters and compete one day?
I'm gonna let her choose what she gonna do. Both of hers, both of my daughters.
Okay. Would you like to say something to your fans in Brazil, in Portuguese perhaps? Because I know there's a lot of people who watch Netflix in Brazil, so any message for them?
Fala pessoal do Netflix Brasil, Philipe Lins aqui. Queria mandar um abraço para todos vocês aí que estão assistindo ao vivo aí nos streams do YouTube, do Netflix e da MVP. Queria mandar um abraço para todos vocês aí, para minha família, por estarem torcendo por mim aí nesse dia para que a gente possa vir com essa vitória aí para a gente, nessa luta tão importante, nesse grande desafio que eu tenho pela frente aí. Um abraço para todos vocês.
Obrigado, obrigado. All right, let's go back to the media.
Good afternoon, Adriana Noriega with Fox Deportes and ABN Sports. My question is for Ronda and Gina. As we celebrate Women's History Month, we look up here and we see one of the most historic women's card, headlined by 2 legendary fighters of this sport. So I want to see how you come into this fight. Does the fighter inside of you look at this fight as the biggest rivalry or as the biggest celebration of the 2 biggest pioneers of the sport?
I think it can be both. Why not?
Good answer.
I mean, fighting's the way I celebrate.
I've been asked about Ronda for the last 16 years. Are you going to fight Ronda? Are you going to fight Ronda? And it's so easy to tell these people, oh, yeah, I would, I would. And then to be able to do it. So putting words to action is, I think, one of the best things you could do in life. And for it to be Ronda and for it to be, this is just, it's epic. It's just absolutely epic. I have been a part of so many firsts in my life. And I'm just so blessed and fortunate that it is with Ronda. And I'm definitely coming to win. So make no mistake about that. It's competitive, and it's also everything else.
First women's MMA fight on premium cable, first women's MMA fight on broadcast television, first women's MMA main event, and now first MMA fight on Netflix.
And first women's MMA fight to go 5-minute rounds with Cyborg.
That
So
too.
this will be my second fight.
A lot of
And
firsts.
that
there.
was like, you know, obviously a cheating, roided up bitch that totally cheated you out of your title that was deservingly yours. So you're too nice to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Fuck her, and you're the best.
You know what I love about Ronda? Some people go away and they lose the fastball. I feel like the fastball is at like 105 right now. It actually somehow got even faster. I'm not sure. We've missed you. Welcome back.
It's just because you've been at so many boring press conferences that you forgot how interesting it could be.
I actually don't go to the press
We
conferences.
missed you, Ronda. We missed you.
I miss you. We all miss you. I think a lot of the media here misses you. All right, here we go.
Eduardo Mata, No Mas Boxing. My question is for Ronda. Yeah, it should have been a better name. You dominated in multiple arenas, not just the fight scene, but also film. When you look at your career today, what motivates you now compared to when you first started?
I mean, this is a really unique fight, I think, in that it's entirely self-motivated, you know? This is for me. I think my last 2 fights, I felt like I had to be there for other people, and it got away from me. And this is me really, really reclaiming that. And of course, you know, it kind of becomes more about everybody else because of the grandiosity of this event and everybody that's become a part of it. But deep down, this is the fight that I always wanted, and the only fight that I wanted to come back for, the only thing that could inspire me and light that fire back in me again.
Just one more quick question that they asked me to ask. If you could describe Dana White in one word, what would it be?
Wait, hold for sound.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh yeah, because I was playing. If you could describe Dana White in one word, what would it be?
Dana White, if I could describe him in one word, I would say, I think he's loyal to a fault.
Thank you.
That's a lot of words.
That was more than one word.
We get
Okay,
it.
one word? God.
Loyal is good.
Loyal. Yeah, more descriptive term. He's very loyal.
Hi, Gilbert, Casuals MMA. Got 2 questions. Question for Francis. Not too long ago, there were rumblings that you were potentially going to fight the man over there, Jake Paul, in boxing. That fell through. But now that you're here at MVP, there's MMA. Are you interested in fighting Jake Paul? And Jake, with a head nod, you want to do it?
No, I'm not interested in fighting Jake Paul.
Never mind, Jake.
Listen, I'm not done. I'm interested in beating his ass.
Oh! Whoa,
No fighting him.
Okay, just beating his ass. Interesting.
Yes.
Last question for Ronda and Gina. The last 2 big blockbuster fights we saw you guys in. Gina, you were fighting Michael Fassbender and Haywire. Ronda, you were beating Michelle Rodriguez's ass in Fast and the Furious. Are we going to see a barn burner like that? 30-second flying armbar, switch kick, head kick, KO, 30 seconds. Or are we going to see Max Charles Oliveira?
Listen, the great thing about fighting and it not being scripted is that you really have to tune in to find out. So I don't know. I'm prepared for every what's it called? Eventuality?
Scenario.
Possibility?
Every possibility. Thank you, God. But you never know. That's the beautiful thing about MMA. You never know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be Fast and Furious, no pun intended, because they're both in the franchise. But you know, I know that with everybody on this stage, you are not going to be disappointed. There's a lot of fights that I see headlining these days that if they were happening in a bar for free, I would walk away.
For me, I think that energies make fights, and you really cannot. 1 second. Until you're in front of someone, right, and you feel the energy and you see how they move. I move a little bit different. I know who she's been training with and everything. Yeah, I don't see it going the full length, but we prepare for the full length, and Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty surprising, actually.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up the media questions with a question from this young whippersnapper.
Hey guys, new on the scene here. My name is Jake Paul from JakePaul.com. My question is for Philipe. I would like to say first, I want the winner of this fight, but Philipe, Francis has said he can knock me out and is going to knock me out. What do you think is going to happen in your guys' fight, and do you think you can knock out Francis Ngannou?
First of all, Francis Ngannou is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. This fight is going to be the biggest challenge I'm going to face on my entire MMA career. All respect to Francis, but one victory over him is going to put my name on the MMA history forever. So it's a masterpiece, and all respect to him again, to his history on the sport. But May 16, live on Netflix, I'm going to shock the world.
Did you have another one?
Yeah, and Francis, how do you think the fight is going to go?
Well, I think I'll win. You know, again, it brings more challenge than what originally supposed to be. But I think I have the tool to answer him because he have a good ground game. We watched his last. I went back and watched his last fight, even at the UFC, who was just a win, and then all his last fight was a win. So he proved to be very well-rounded. So I don't know. Whatever comes to me as an opportunity, I'll take him. If he gives me his neck, I don't know, his hand or something, I'll just grab it and finish the fight.
Thank you guys.
By the
so
way,
much.
Jake, do you share that sentiment? Do you want to fight him? He said he wants to beat your ass.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm down. I've always been down. You were the option before Anthony Joshua, and you ran like a duck. And I bet you didn't think I would last longer than you did with Anthony either. So you just know that you get worked in boxing, and I would love to see it someday.
No, I think you were just being a small boy, like not understanding, being a little disrespectful, and that's why I want to kick your ass now. I really didn't want to fight you, but now I want to beat you. So there's a difference.
Let's do it.
And that's why I hold it the statement that I want to
just
beat you up.
Hey, Philippe, I got you.
And could I ask, since you're here, I mean, for you, as a longtime MMA fan, Jake, to put together a fight like this, I know you and your brother have been watching MMA for many years. When they were coming onto the scene, you were watching. I believe you said that you did a little bit of judo because you were inspired by Ronda. To see it all come to fruition like this, on a platform like this, on Netflix, personally, for all the things you've done, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's very surreal, and this is the MVP way. You know, just 4.5 years into building this company with Nakisa, and we're doing the first ever MMA event live on Netflix with MMA legends, and their future is looking very bright. The MMA is in a weird position right now, and it's the Wild West, and I believe we have a massive opportunity here to disrupt the whole space and to put fighters first, get them the pay that they deserve, the platform that they deserve, because I believe the UFC is dying and MVP is here to take over.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. All right, in a matter of moments, we're going to wrap up this press conference, have face-offs as well. I'd like to just say my takeaway is I think when we heard you speak, when this came out, when we heard you speak a little bit, Gina, I think some people thought like, oh, you guys are friends, that this will be a fun little nostalgic fight. I feel the fire radiating out of you, and I feel like you're coming to beat her despite the fact that you respect her. And I feel it from you. I feel the motivation. I feel it piercing through my soul as I'm looking at you right now. You seem so motivated to be back. I feel like this is what people wanted to see. So it's just amazing to see the two of you up here in this form, in this spirit, in this mood. And then to add to that, Francis and Philipe as well. And this is not going to be just a two-fight card. Many more fights will be announced in the coming days and weeks. Cannot wait for those announcements. But to repeat, two of the greatest of all time, two pioneers, two trailblazers are coming your way on May the 16th, live and exclusively on Netflix, the biggest platform in the world, airing its very first mixed martial arts event. Historic, doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. Thank you so much to everyone up here. We're going to ask all the fighters to go to your respective corners to do the face-offs. We're going to call some other people up, but this has been amazing. And I appreciate all the media. Sorry we couldn't get to everyone in attendance, but you'll have other opportunities to speak to all these fighters over the coming weeks. Great to see you. Great to see you. A reminder that tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com. May 16th, Intuit Dome, home of the Los Angeles Clippers. Big win yesterday against the Knicks. Over 500, but an even bigger event is coming in a little over 2 months' time. We'll welcome back to the stage the MVP event models, Rafael and Delia. And we will also welcome to the stage the co-founders of Motions, Nakisa Bidarian and Jake Paul. All right. First to the stage, the PFL tournament champion from 2018, UFC veteran, the pride of Brazil, Philipe Lins. And his opponent, Le Predateur, the former UFC heavyweight champion, the lineal MMA heavyweight champion, the MMA fighter turned boxer, now back to mixed martial arts, Cameroon and France's own Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou against Philipe Lins. And now, for the first time in front of the public, two trailblazers, two pioneers. Please welcome back the one and only Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. All right, we're going to bring back everyone to the stage now. Jake Paul, Nakisa Bidarian, Francis Ngannou, Philipe Lins, and of course, Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey. The four fighters competing on this card, many more to come. The two men who made this all possible, who first brought boxing to Netflix and now are bringing mixed martial arts to the biggest streaming platform in the world. Saturday, May 16th, right here in Inglewood, California, the Intuit Dome. Don't miss it. Once again, tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.com. Thank you to everyone in attendance. Thank you to everyone watching at home. We will see you in May.